I am currently in upstate New York doing research for my new book series, and I thought that this would be a great time to talk about how hobbies can help us deal with our grief. Stay tuned. Okay, so first I have to apologize. This is not my normal location. The audio probably sounds terrible. The video is not what it normally is. So give me some grace here because I am not in my own home where I normally record. But since I am here on vacation doing research for my book series, I thought this was a great time to discuss the way that coming up with new interests and hobbies has helped me deal with my grief. As someone who has experienced significant loss, my 10-year-old daughter, Libby, my parents, my stepmom, my sister, I am someone who knows the overwhelming nature of grief. But I've discovered that one of the things that has really helped me is diving into new passions. And I'm going to talk about why that can be so helpful when you are grieving. So, first, there is power in establishing new interests. Grief takes up so much space in our lives, and it's really easy to feel overwhelmed by that sadness. But here's a little secret: finding something new to focus on can be a huge distraction for your grief. For me, it's been a couple different things. It has been this YouTube channel, it has been writing my first book, and now for me, it is writing historical fiction novels. Currently, I am honoring Libby by making her the main character in a book series that I'm working on called Libby's Frontier. And it takes place right where I am in upstate New York. So I am here doing historical research to make sure that I get everything accurate. And for me, and hopefully for you, hobbies can become more than just hobbies. It is a way for me to use my free time productively and to channel my overwhelming emotions into something more productive. And honestly, as a way to find a little bit of joy and satisfaction in something that I am accomplishing that also honors my daughter. So I want to run through specifically for me how my hobbies, such as this YouTube channel and writing the historical fiction novels that I'm working on, how they have been helpful with my grief specifically. One, writing gives me a sense of purpose. It is something that I look forward to, that I enjoy. If you've been watching my channel for any time, you know I am a huge history nerd. So I absolutely love the historical research that is going into writing these books. I love having a goal, like finishing a chapter or a certain amount of words each day. It gives me something positive to focus on and something to achieve. And then when I do achieve it, it makes me feel like I've accomplished something. The second thing that my hobby does is it keeps me distracted from my sadness. When I am writing, my mind is taken up by the research, by the characters, by the plot, by what I want to happen. I am involved in the story and thinking about the story. Even though Libby is the main character, I still look at it like it is a story. It doesn't make me sad. It's almost like she's getting to keep living through my words. And it gives me a little break from those constant feelings of grief. Now, obviously, it doesn't erase the pain at all. It just gives me a little hiatus or break from it so that it's not so overwhelming all the time. The third thing, accomplishing something, whether it is finishing this video and getting it edited and uploaded, whether it is finishing a chapter or finishing a book or doing social media posts, anything. It doesn't matter what it is. It's a reminder that I am capable of completing something, of creating something, and of achieving something, even amidst my grief. And next, it brings me joy. There's a special kind of joy that comes from doing something that you love. For me, that is right now writing historical fiction. It's a way for me to connect with myself, and it makes me feel a little bit like my old self again. I understand that not everyone is going to relate to that exactly because you're not drawn to writing, and that is okay. The key is to find something that resonates with you. So I want to give you a few examples of how to find that thing. First, explore different activities. Try out different hobbies, whether it is painting or gardening or cooking or hiking. Explore different options until you find something that clicks for you. Next, Start small. You do not have to start with a huge project like writing a book right away. I obviously didn't do that right away. I started small with just little blog posts that then turned into a YouTube channel, that then turned into chapters of my book, Grief Sucks, But Your Life Doesn't Have to. And now it's taking a different turn into that different subject. So start little. If you think you might be interested in painting, start with a simple sketch or paint by numbers. If you think you might be interested in gardening, start with a few plants in your window. My next tip is follow your curiosity. Is there anything that you have always wanted to do that you've never tried? Follow that curiosity and give it a shot. You might like it, you might not, but then you'll know. My next tip is set achievable goals for yourself. Goals are such a huge thing. I talk about them a lot in my book because they give you little bits of things to accomplish, but they are not overwhelming. So I am a huge proponent of setting small goals for yourself. And it's the same when you are starting a new hobby or trying to find something productive to do during your grief. Set achievable goals for yourself. It could be completing a small project, learning a new skill, or just dedicating a certain amount of time each week to the new thing that you are trying. And last, try to enjoy the process. It's not necessarily about the outcome, but the progress and the journey along the way. It's never about being perfect. It's about trying to find little bits of joy and distraction. It's about finding ways to live with your grief while also finding those little moments of joy and fulfillment. It's never about forgetting your loved one or moving on. Like I said, I take Libby with me everywhere. She is always in my heart and on my mind and in my stories. Finding a new interest or hobby can be a really powerful tool in your grief journey. I know that it's one that has helped me a lot personally. So take it one day at a time, one step at a time. Give yourself permission to explore and create and to try to find happiness anywhere that you can, even if it's just in small doses. You deserve those small moments of healing and transformation. Have you found a new interest or a healthy way to cope with your grief? I would love if you would share what it is that you have done down in the comments. Maybe other people will get inspiration from your ideas. That's all for this week. I will be back next week with another video, back in my own home, back from New York. I will see you guys then. As always, sending love and hugs. Bye.